Today is March 31st, 2023, and this coming Monday, April 3rd, the astronauts that will be on board the Artemis II mission, which will go back to the moon, are going to be announced. And they are going to be 4 of these lovely people right up here. And the reason I am not posting this beforehand is I thought some people might think I have some type of information because of my job. So instead, I am making my completely uninformed guesses in advance and will post them after the fact and we'll see how well I did. First of all, what we know now. The Artemis II mission is targeted to launch in 2024. And on board will be 4 astronauts. 3 of them will be from NASA and 1 will be from CSA, the Canadian Space Agency. So we're going to be picking 3 astronauts from the pool that was listed as the Artemis eligible astronauts from NASA, as well as the 4 current active CSA astronauts. So we're going to start by taking off some of the ones that I do not think will be on board. To start out, we're sadly going to be taking off Joe Acaba because he is currently not eligible for flight assignment because he is the head of the astronaut office. The head of the astronaut office is one of the people who actually helps make the flight assignments. So therefore, he is not eligible to actually be assigned to a flight currently. Second, I think people that currently are in space aren't going to be assigned to this mission. Usually there is a gap between when people come back to Earth so that they can rehabilitate after a long duration mission and when they return to space. The people that get eliminated for that category are Woody Hoberg, and second is Frank Rubio. Along those same lines, Crew 5 just returned back to Earth. So again, I don't think they're going to fit that recovery time and the training cycle that would be needed for an Artemis mission. And the Crew 5 astronauts that are currently eligible in the astronaut group include Nicole Mann. Now, I'm going to extend this same reasoning back even one more, and that includes Kjell Lindgren and Jessica Watkins, who's also, keep in mind, a geologist. I think she's a fantastic pick for actually going onto the lunar surface and doing some studies. So she's a top prediction for me for one of the later Artemis missions. I don't think they're going to put rookie flyers on this mission or people that are currently already assigned to future missions. That's going to take out Scott Tingle, who's assigned to the Boeing mission, as well as Jasmine Mombelli, who is assigned to Crew 7. And as far as never flown in space, Matthew Dominic and Johnny Kim. This is supposed to say never flown in space. I made a mistake when I printed it out and it's too late now, so just pretend that that's correct. Also, to mention the CSA astronauts. This is kind of going to make our first pick for us, so I've been waiting to say this until now, but 3 out of the 4 CSA astronauts have never flown in space before. Joshua, Jennifer, and Jeremy, which I am now realizing are all J names, have all never flown before. So I think that CSA's astronaut is going to be David St. Jacques. We are now left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 NASA astronauts. And what we're going to do is sort these astronauts into 2 categories. Test pilots are often the first choices for first flights of a new spacecraft. So if you think Bob and Doug from the Demo 2 mission and a SpaceX Dragon, both former military test pilots.
Rajachari, Crew 3 astronaut, test pilot. Stephanie Wilson, hasn't flown since shuttle, scientist. Victor Glover, pilot. Kayla Barron, kind of in the middle, so I'm gonna put her right here. She was an engineer and a submarine officer. Jessica Meir, scientist. Christina Cook, scientist. Kate Rubens, scientist, but recently joined the Army. And Anne McLean, helicopter pilot. And now, before I make my final picks from this list, I'm going to bring in one wild card who has been over here the whole time, which is Reid Wiseman. Remember the first person that I took off this list was Joe Acaba, because he is now head of the astronaut office? Well, Reid was the former head of the astronaut office. Well, guess who stepped down just about a month ago from that position? Reid Wiseman. So I think he is definitely going to be one of the people on this mission. He's a former test pilot, lots of experience, highly respected. I think Reid Wiseman is going to be our second Artemis astronaut. Okay, now we get back to this group, and I'm going to make one initial first poll, and that is Anne McLean. She has not flown for a while, was really highly respected for her work she did on the space station, And as I mentioned, she is a helicopter pilot. And a lot of the NASA astronauts have been doing training in helicopters as preparations for learning how to pilot lunar landers. So I think she would be a fantastic person to have on this mission, potentially test out some systems. I think she would be a really great option. We have 3 out of our 4. All right, this last one, to pull one out of these incredible people, is very hard. So to eliminate some people from this, I'm going to say that Crew 3 also flew too recently. So that's gonna take Raja Chari and Kayla Barron out of the mix. And now we are left with Victor Glover as the one remaining test pilot and 4 amazing women scientists. So my thought is, I think there's a good shot that they put 1 scientist on this flight. I am rooting for Kate Rubins to be the first woman to walk on the moon, so I am saving her for Artemis III. And then between Jessica Meir, Christina Cook, and Stephanie Wilson has not flown for a long time. She has not flown since shuttle, and a lot of the shuttle era of astronauts have recently flown to the ISS. She also has just contributed a ton just internally to NASA over the years. And so I think my poll is going to be Stephanie Wilson for that final spot. I think Stephanie deserves a chance to fly. So with that, I am excited to present you my choices for the Artemis II astronauts. They are Stephanie Wilson, Anne McClain, Reed Wiseman, and David Saint-Jacques. These are some incredible people right there, and I can't wait to see the reveal on Monday to see how well my predictions were and see if any of these other people also got a shot at it, because any of them deserve this spot too. They're all incredible people, and I can't wait for us to go back to the moon.